how many fucking times can you retire and what exactly are you retiring from? And he says, well, you know, you want to go up to Montana. Dawn wants to go over to Sun River. And I think I want to go to Texas. And I said to him, Dad, that's our dream, but it's not tomorrow. It's one of those, if everything goes perfect for a certain amount of time, that's what we'd like to do. And he came back to Texas to visit his mom, who was, how old was she at that time? 94. And it really made me realize that innate human nature is to go home at the end. And for some reason, this Texas thing he started talking about. And we didn't know he was sick, but yet all of a sudden he's talking about, I got to get back to Texas. And subconsciously he knew that time was short. Because his mom passed a few weeks later, and he got back on a plane and he went down. And Lance, if you could, I'd love it if you could share just a little bit of what everyone who knew my dad knows he's not standing up and talking like I am. It just wasn't what he did. Yet, he never told me this. I heard this from his brothers, but he stood and he spoke. Could you give us a little bit of what he said?
Actually, before I get to that, you reminded me of a story with this Barracuda.
Oh.
So he comes to Texas with Barracuda. It's a really hot car, and I'm 14, 15, something like that. So he gets all the brothers in the car. There's Billy, who's watching, and Charlie, and I'm 14. I'm sitting in the back. We go down to El Dorado Boulevard. You remember this? And he stumps it. And it is roaring. I have never been in a car that fast in my life. A pin to the back. Halfway, a half a mile down El Dorado, there's a convenience store. And so I'm just, this house, and we pass the convenience store, and there's two Texas State Trooper cars. Coffee. And they watch this Barracuda. They literally throw their cups in there. They're in the car, and so I'm 15, whatever. And so the discussion is, should we keep going? Fortunately, the right decision was made and pulled over, and I guess he got the ticket or whatever. I do remember that car. So my oldest brother Bob was not given to standing up and talking in front of a crowd. And so we're there at my mom's funeral, and so the brothers are all sitting there, and he stands up, and he gets up and he talks about family, and just how important his family was, being around you and your family, and Dawn and your family, and it was quite touching. And I had several people in my office who were there come and talk about how nice it was what he said and how well spoken it was. My wife works at church, and several people there said the same thing. So it was, for somebody who wasn't given to do that, he did keep it. And the last thing I'll say is his grandchildren. You know, you're the kids with you, but the grandchildren were the light of his life. I can't tell you how many soccer stories I heard about Chance growing up. Henry, Sydney, Hunter, baseball. Sydney, you had to jump in and get a phone. You guys have an army leader, and all he wanted was in life is to see you succeed, see you be happy. Life's full of, you make bad choices sometimes. We all do. I have, and you get past them, But you got a guardian angel watching, and so you should feel pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you. Since we're talking about the grandkids, would you like to stand up, or do you want me to read it for you?
Nobody heard you.
Nobody knows that.